if your messaging isn't dialed in, or if you don't know what you want, they didn't even know they accidentally were trying to get more stereotext, then be like, why don't we just get people excited about preppy? Talk less about stereotech. Talk about how easy it is with preppy. I don't care about your day in the life of a stereotech. I care about your day in life with preppy. You have to go clean up puke and vomit from a 7-year-old. That shit sucks. But you did it fast, easy, cheap, and now you're living your dream with preppy. Your work sucks. How you got there is good. Don't talk about the work sucks. Talk about how getting there is fun. All we're doing is just changing the narrative. But that, like, everyone's like, look at the NCAC. It's like, what are you saying? Oh, we shouldn't say any of this. Pause. Thank you. We skipped that part.
Been auditing a lot of accounts from, I won't say who, but popular YouTubers. We'll just leave it at that.
Popular YouTubers
In the space. And I've seen a couple of them talk about how they're segmenting out ad sets. And I mentioned this to you as well, too. Ad sets via the interest, or I guess you could say not the interest, the, what's the word I'm looking for? Concepts, right? So if there's like a certain concept that is like, hey, we're testing this concept, put it all on this ad set and then see how the ad set performs versus all the other ad sets. And it's like, does not do exactly what you think it's doing in terms of keeping people in pockets, because concepts in terms of people can bleed over into other ad sets as well too.
And that's an interesting concept. No pun intended. There's two scenarios with a very similar end result, but the functionality is completely changed. And both scenarios are completely viable, but for different reasons. So, sorry, I hit a whole bunch of Milky Way Darks, which is my wife's favorite candy bar, and she just, you find them? Easter Bunny. It's actually my YouTube live, so a whole bunch of people just found out that I hid Milky Way Darks in front of my
Nothing new.
Easter. That was an Easter egg scavenger hunt. Happy Easter.
That's funny. That's awesome.
Listen, she's like 30-pack of Milky Way. She's like, I was like, Happy Easter. I grabbed a whole big box I got off Amazon and just hid it because it's her favorite candy bar. All right, anyway.
Can you say where it was hidden? Because I'm super curious. I'm like, where did John Moran hide the box of chocolates?
In her wine cabinet.
That's a good spot.
It's the area the kids are going to go into. But now I'm wondering why she's drinking at 3:15 in the afternoon. Oh, well. I'm just kidding. I should probably put stuff away. I hope. My wife might be an alcoholic. It's a whole different topic for another live. But so the thing that we did this with, to go back to the other one, the two different scenarios. Yes, you can test multiple concepts at once in different assets. That's actually not a bad strategy. You're just going to do it the more expensive way. Say, hey, I'm going to take this concept. I'm going to spend the same money on overlapping audiences, and then it's going to dedupe. That's okay. That's hedging your bet. You're going to shotgun approach until they say majority of people like this. That's fine. And it may be a good scenario to say, you know what, we actually don't even want to get rid of the other one, because while that one may not perform as well from a CPA perspective, we do want that as the messaging, and it gets good hook rates. So that's absolutely fine as well. What I found out is that there's not a proper scenario to deliver, or there's not a proper SOP to deliver the message. It's just, what is the best way to utilize your message? And so for Yellow Leaf Hammocks, we almost had the same approach. It's like, you could have 5 different ad sets and you could have 5 different concepts, but those 5 different concepts are: monkeys are scared of matches, mosquitoes only live a day, and treadmills are good for your health. That is a stupid strategy. That has nothing to do with the structure. You just fucked up your messaging.
Yeah, they don't know what the brand is.
Exactly right. But if you're like, hey, I have 3 different ad groups, and we're going to talk about philanthropy, we're going to talk about build quality, and we're going to talk about portability, and all 3 worked okay, but the top line is looking great, then you didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
So you're working through a process. So that's what I'm saying, is like, you could do that. But if they're like, no, we always run these 3, even if they have shit performance and low hook rates and people hate it, we still spend on it, then that's a bad process. But the messaging could be great, which means it worked okay.
Well, one thing too that I noticed with people that run that strategy, specifically the person I'm thinking of, or the company I'm thinking of, is they were still looking at CPA. They were still looking at like avoiding the deduping and just looking at like conversions and then like the frequency. And that was like the whole entire thing. And so if there's similar concepts that are overlapping, then you're going to have deduping occur, which means that one concept could be contributing to the effects of the other concept that acts more maybe bottom of funnel in their journey at this given week versus like the next week. So there's like volatility in the results from what's being attributed. And there's also the repurchasers that could be in there as well too, depending on the business. Specifically, this business has about a 30 to 40% repeat rate. So super high repeat rate. So yeah, there's a lot of potential pitfalls.
And that's also like, I had well, you know what, we're going to change pivot strategy for a moment, because this is something that happened this morning, and it just keeps irritating me to the point that we keep falling into our same bad habits. We had a meeting this morning, and so I'll just share with you from an in-platform metric, but I work with a company called Preppy, owned by a company called Straighterline that I also own. Sorry, I have to kill my camera here. It's going to be way better. If we look at the last week, and we look at the ad spend here, I said, here's my, or actually, you know what, we did the last 30 days. We look at the ad spend, I said, like, yes, look at the CPA here, and it's not coming here, and we're gonna have to do these. And we're like, well, this one has like preppy medical billing and coding, and then we do have like some sterile tech and surgical, and then we have the medical assistant. The medical assistant is then sometimes getting sterile and also surgical tech and sterile tech. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, let me ask you all a question. I said, well, this is a great exercise just overall. I said, here's what I'm looking at. We have a $12,000 cost per medical assistant. And that's kind of almost like true. That's almost real. It's like $4,000 in real life. Everything else is like $180, $160. And I was like, well, what are we looking at from like a medical assistant? I said, what ads are we running like this last week? What worked? And we started to look at the amount of the ad spend. And as you can see, when I ask people, well, what are you running? Because the performance doesn't look that great. The NCAC is high, and we're wondering what bidding strategy and what ninja tactics we can do. And I said, let's just take a look at the creative. Well, as soon as we look at the creative, you can kind of see the result of what happened. It was like, why are we spending all this money on these ads? This is what looks to be an AI ad with the UGC filter over it. This is a person that basically just says, thanks, Preppy. And this one is like a day in the life of a medical assistant. I'm like, let me ask you a question. A day in the life of a medical assistant. And this one is like, I'm now become medical. I'm in my scrubs. This is good, but are we trying to get people to buy medical assistant courses? Or are we trying to get people to buy courses from Preppy?
Yeah.
That is
more branding versus just general messaging.
Right. Caden may not know if he wants to be a medical billing encoder, medical assistant, or lab tech, or lab assistant. I don't care, but you're going to buy from Preppy. So they said, hey, how do we get people to go and sign up for the sterile processing tech? I'm like, why the hell do you care how many sterile processing techs there are in the world? The reason why this is the same conversation that we're on in month number 2, in the same conversation I'm having with you all on month number 2, is medical assistants are selling billing and coding, sterile tech, and surgical tech. Sterile tech is selling medical billing, coding, and surgical. Surgical is selling sterile surgical assistant and tech. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what I told people. I said, this is why media buyers suck at marketing. You're not trying to get people to get excited about this or this or this or this. The reason why is you said, hey, whether you want to be A, B, C, or D, you do it with us. And that's the results. We just need to have all of these go up. So when I said, how's sterile processing tech? I'm like, great. We have some UGCs about a person that's like a day in the life of sterile processing tech. One ad about the day in the life of sterile processing tech, and their NCAC is high, and they're wondering why. Well, fuck, yes. Hey, Caden, this is what a sterile tech does in their life. Holy shit. Just quit digital marketing. I'm going to become a sterile tech. I mean, it wasn't even that exciting. So yeah. we can, that's the thing too, is like, if your messaging isn't dialed in, or if you don't know what you want, they didn't even know they accidentally were trying to get more sterile techs, then be like, why don't we just get people excited about Preppy? Talk less about sterile tech. Talk about how easy it is with Preppy. I don't care about your day in the life of a sterile tech. I care about your day in life with Preppy. you have to go clean up puke and vomit from a 7-year-old. That shit sucks. But you did it fast, easy, cheap, and now you're living your dream with Preppy. Your work sucks. How you got there is good. Don't talk about the work sucks. Talk about how getting there is fun. All we're doing is just changing the narrative. But that, like, everyone's like, look at the NCAC. It's like, what are you saying? We shouldn't say any of this. Pause. Thank you. We skipped that part. Hey, if you like this video, we have a school community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.